I have considered this a moment. I could come on here and share a little work I've come on to do. I do know the last time around I started a video series about carving the Ukrainian Santa, but I will say that things have changed a little bit, probably to the point where that's probably going to be put off a while, but I do have another little thing to share here. And as a matter of fact, I had forgotten the blanks the first time around, but this is kind of similar to how I've done that video in the past on how to carve the shepherd and the lambs. I will say it is only August, so it might even seem a little early, but these are going to be out at events in the coming months. So there's just a lot of work to do. These nativities are things that sell the best, but out of that same nativity set where you've seen the shepherd and the lambs, we're going to kind of put on a new focus today. We're going to focus on carving Mary from the set. There's going to be a Joseph and a baby Jesus as well, but here's the little lines I have drawn in the wood just to kind of get us a little started here. I do need to mention that I have decided to move everything over to the shop for now because, you know, there's going to be a lot of heavy carving work to do coming up, and to the point where we kind of have to keep things orderly a certain way, because over in that other corner where I've been doing it, you know, we've had to sweep a lot of chips up, and because of the extra work that's coming this time around, in order to keep that area clean enough where it's harder to get the chips up when they scatter, I've moved over to the shop. But first I'm going to demonstrate something here. I'm going to, where you see these little triangles on the side, I'm going to carve along those, get rid of the excess wood around that area. I tell you, this time around, when I went to sharpening my knives, I didn't spend quite as much time doing it as I normally would, probably because, I mean, my hand was getting a little tired, and so were my arms, so they may not come out as sharp this time around. But it's the kind of thing where I just kind of try my best about things, and this is going to be the chapter where this is what we're going to focus on, is carving Marys. And as you can see, these chips, they'll go a little bit to other places, you know, and sometimes the work just kind of causes the chips to fly. I try to keep a pan underneath that can catch all the chips when they come off, and it probably catches the worst of them, but it doesn't catch all of them. Some of them just fly off to random areas, and it could just very well be because I carve so fast, you know, it kind of gets to be a little work here and there, and kind of becomes the work where you do a lot of things and kind of, I'd say it's how it goes. I hear it raining outside. Things have been kind of different in ways, and I'm just kind of making things come out a little different here. I do need to mention that it's been raining on and off around here. It's early August here in Kentucky, and you all know that I work in the school system in a cafeteria. I've been busy the whole summer just kind of catching things up, so I haven't been able to do many videos. I've just been kind of trying to be real busy with my shows and busy about my work, and so that's how has come along. I will say that this is a time when I'm not sure when this video is going to be uploaded to YouTube, but it's Saturday night as I record it. Monday morning in the school district I work for, we've got a big meeting coming up at Rupp Arena, so it's going to be something where we sort of have to arrive at our schools, and the school buses are going to take us employees over to Rupp, where we're going to have our meeting, and it's going to be a district-wide rally. We kind of get our emails about that stuff these days from the system, and, you know, this is the kind of thing that we have been doing for a few years just because of how the pandemic has made it. So this year we're kind of getting back to doing things our old ways. I kind of liked it better when we didn't have so much to get up so early for, and so many places to attend where we had to gather in big crowds, but things are just kind of getting back to how they used to be, and they're just kind of changing things to go back to normal again. I do need to tell you all, since I'm kind of trying to cut back video time, I've already kind of carved one triangle on this one. I'm going to carve the other side on this one, and maybe even sometime demonstrate how I carve the triangle that goes in the back. But I come by to say that this little work comes along the way it does, make us all kind of work ourselves real fine and make ourselves real nice, and it's the kind of work that can make the best of us if we give it our best shots, give it our best tries. And I need to say that there's been a lot of places I've been to visit this summer. Been over to a place in Winchester that is sort of like a shop where they sell coffee and ice cream, and have a friend who sells her pottery over there, so I decided to take a trip over there, see what the place was like, give them my business card, consider maybe selling my stuff there if I could, and I'd say that'll be a good way to go about it when it comes time to do it. I must say that a little work here and there, I mean, I'd say that things have been going good. Kind of losing track of my voice, but as for the way it's been, it's kind of like how it was when I was in the Starbucks last night. You know, there's been things changing around. I've been attending other locations. You know, there's kind of gotten to be little things going on at the one down the street from my house in Lexington, and I'd say there's probably been different issues at different times, even at different ones in Lexington, but I kind of started going over to the one in Nicholasville, which is like one town over from where I live, like right on the other side of the county line that's fairly close to where I live. So that's kind of the place where I've been going and meeting these people, to see these people, hear more about them, know more about them, and they've been really good to me. They've been making an effort to get to know me, and I mean, at any location they pretty much probably did that, but I'd say that there's been one I've been attending lately where it's been especially a good way. On these, I'm going to try to now carve the back of the head triangle, and this is how you go about the work. make the thing come out the way it needs to be. There's probably been a lot of little things I've made this year. Sometime or another I'll get around to showing all those dogs that I made. If you ever get to look at the pictures on my Facebook page or something, you'll get to kind of see how I've done all those dogs and how much they've come to show the kind of work I've done. I'd like to share that there will be other little photos of them coming along as well, with little things changing in my life, you know. Sometimes the work of our lives can be little things that can move us around from one job to another. There's a lot of things that go on in my life and in my place where a lot gets said and a lot gets done. There gets to be those moments in my life where there gets to be stuff about social media I may temporarily have to avoid. I will say of all things, you know, that it's been harder to get a little transfer this year. Been trying to get a new 4-hour job in the school system. I've only been working 3 and could probably even get some retirement benefits if I could work an extra hour. So it's been a little harder this year to go about that, but tried my best to do it. I think these days that the name for my business has gone around so much. Kind of had a lady in California purchase some cardinals from me. I worked kind of hard to make them and had the work come out of them, and didn't paint them or dye them or stain them or anything, just sent them as plain carved sanded basswood, which I know is what she appreciated. She paid me a fairly deal price for them, and she's reselling them in her business, you know. These days, I've been trying to make special business deals with people whenever it comes to the work I sell, the things I make, and so there's been a lot of new good people I've met at my shows. Met a young lady who writes a lot of books. Her husband does a lot of woodworking and epoxy work. They've sold some good stuff. She bought some nice little animals from me for her 2 little boys. We talk on Facebook now. She tells me a lot about it. But I'm going to try to carve this back triangle now on this one. So I say that there's going to be some work to come along, some work in the making, and whoa, let me tell you, these chips are just going everywhere, because with this kind of work, they sure certainly do. It's hard to keep it organized enough when you're in the shop, and I say that these days, you know, there'd be times when I might have to move back in the shop to do a little more of my stuff, because this is getting to be some really heavy work, you know. This is getting to be some work that's costing us a whole lot, and costing us what we need, what we do, what we know. I'd say that knowledge is great, knowledge is good, and a lot to share comes with it. I'd say we're going to probably get around to finishing up here. Maybe finish this video here, bring it to the end, and I will say that I might even sometime away from the camera maybe carve these other two corners off. This corner of this one and this corner of this one, so just to kind of make things a little shorter for us. Time to try to wrap things up here, close the video, bring us to an end. You pretty much already seen this stuff when I did my video about the shepherds, so that's how the work is coming along. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to stay. And whoa, let me tell you, this little time in our life when times are just flowing and growing. I say, this is butternut, by the way. Butternut is a good soft wood to carve. You know, people kind of see the butternut nativity I made for my mom. They want one just like it, so there's just a little bit more to tell about that. And I'd say that this work will come along fine and it'll make its way. To be honest, I'd like to tell y'all, when my niece was over at the house, she kind of wanted to play with those animals in the nativity, but Mom wouldn't let her play with it. She was like, oh no, she's going to break it. So probably going to end up probably between now and Christmas, maybe try to make some little animals for her. She's only 2 years old. She doesn't live near. She doesn't see these things. So we don't know what it's going to be just yet. Hard times to think about. So I say that we're going to wrap this video up now, bring it to an end, and I'm going to have to get up and kind of brush these chips off of me. There's been so much being said around here these days, and kind of got little issues coming along with my electronics. I'll take care of that. At least the tablet still records videos. It doesn't connect with my DeWalt headset anymore, so that's been an issue lately. Anyhow, I do thank you all for tuning in, and want to say that I wish you the best always. Good luck.